Sorry for the delay, kids. I got caught up with some things. I've received a lot of comments and messages on Instagram about the details of this particular camera modification. Here is the in-depth on how it's done, so sit down and take notes. This is the original mask. This is measured to be 56, the width of this frame, by 24, or at least close to it. So it's time to take it off. First we need to decide how tall of a frame we want. I went with 24 millimeters last time because that is the height of a normal 35 millimeter frame. So if we want to do that again, we gotta do a little bit of math. As you can see, the height of this is about 44 millimeters. So if we want 24 millimeters to be our height, we need to subtract that off the total height, divide that by 2 so we know how big of a mask on either side to make. I have a frame that is 44 tall. I did it. So we'll need 2 pieces of this business card that are 10 millimeters tall each. And I'm just gonna do this on this other side because I know these lines are exactly straight. Our total length is going to be 56 millimeter length. Now we cut it out. And look at that, you got your mask. So what we'll want to do is take the perfectly straight edge from the business card and have that on the inside because we know it's perfectly straight. Step 2, gaff tape. Get it approximately the right length and cut it off because we're gonna cut it up. So I'm gonna cut this in half. Take this piece again, the edge that you didn't cut that's actually straight, and let's line that up with this thing somehow. Now that we have it on there, we're gonna just fold this back, set this piece of the mask back right where it was, like this one on top. And then press all the tape down. Just make sure that your tape doesn't overlap your business card very much. Or at all. No, just don't let it do it at all. Okay? Leave it like this. Solid. Repeat for the top side. Cool. Now what I do, take a knife and I cut on the inside edge. Pull it off and just clean it up a little bit. There you go, you have officially made a mask. Check this out. Look at it. Boom. I'll take the dark slide out. Whoa, what the film would be this high? Oh, do we want to confirm it a little bit? Let's try. Call it like 23 and a half, I don't know. Have an inside view. See where we did math? So, the pin. There's really only one step to this. We're gonna jam this pin. This pin is what gets pressed in order to let this know that it's actually gonna advance the film. This thing can spin and not actually advance the film. So when this is pressed, normally it gets pressed in, it triggers something inside here. It tells this to spin the correct amount, from here to here, the full amount. But if it's pressed in all the time, it will advance constantly, as long as the little thingy is turned down here. So we're gonna press this in. There are different models, different backs, where the pin cannot be pressed in and stay. This one does it. It's literally the only one I've ever had that does it. I only have 2 backs. One of them does it, one of them does not. That's why this is my modded back. So we're gonna press this little pin in. It's gonna get stuck under the plastic that it's in, and it's gonna stay. So ready, set, go. If yours doesn't do this, I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you. Oh look, it's down there now. It's kinda stuck. It's hard to tell. I shot B-roll of this for the last video, so go back and watch that. Thank you. This has been Poking in the Pin. So next is figuring out how much to crank this fun little dial right here. Look at it. Look at it. That was most of the questions. So, how do you advance? Is it 10 clicks? Is it something else? That all depends on how tall this frame is. If the frame was full size, then it would just be a full advancement, and we know that. But with the pin pressed in, it doesn't stop But with the pin pressed in, it doesn't stop it at a certain point. So it's gonna go forever or however long you crank it. If you have a smaller frame or a wider frame, it's going to differ. And you're gonna have to figure it out on your own. And this is the method that I've been using. So sweet. I've got this roll of backing paper. I reverse rolled it so that the white is on the outside instead of the black dark part. So when I mark it, I can see it better on the camera. Put it in here like normal. We'll crank it, look at it, see that? It says 1. So let's imagine we took a picture with this. We're gonna mark it and then move on. And that's about where your picture would be, so that's a picture. So now let's advance while we listen and count the clicks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 is like with right on the edge, no gap. 9 gives us a little bit of a gap, so it could be 9. Let's do 10. Why not? I assume there's going to be a little bit of a spill because of the gap. As you can see, there's a gap in between the mask and where the film is going to be sitting. So that's why I went safe with 10. Mark our second frame. Oop. And now we keep repeating this to see if it's consistent. So let's just keep going. I feel like I could almost get away with doing 9 clicks. I did that one with 9 to see what it looks like, and I'll do the next one with 9 also. 9. Okay, now that we've done that, we can compare the size of the frames between 9 clicks and 10 clicks, because those are the closest we got. So, cool. Pop it open. So, let's look. 10 clicks gives us that big of a gap. 9 clicks gives us that big of a gap, it seems. So it seems like 9 is fine. That's how you find out how much to advance the roll. Part 3.5, because I just remembered it. When you're looking through your viewfinder, you're gonna see this shape. It's the 4x3, it's the full 6x4.5 frame. That's what you're gonna see. So, this is an edit. I figured out how to do this a better way. So this is what it looks like when you look through the viewfinder before a mask. And you can't really tell where your frame is gonna be based on the mask you made on your film back. And it's the same size. The viewfinder is the same size as the film back. So you just use that to trace out something on something plastic like this. And trace that on the film back, and then take it onto your panoramic film back and draw your frame lines. They don't have to be completely accurate, but something to give you an idea. Then go ahead and color it in, or don't color it in, you can still see just fine. This just helps me block out what's not going to be in the frame. Go ahead and cut it out afterwards, and then slap it up into the top of your viewfinder. I don't know if this works with waist level finders because I don't own one, so sorry. And this is what it'll look like afterwards. Part 4, shoot a roll. You just load it and then you shoot it using the information that you found out today. This is how you load a Bronica, by the way. Film goes up top, wraps around like this, comes back this way, pop it in there. This goes in there. Kind of make sure it's tight. Cool little red arrow right here. It's gonna tell you where to line up this cool little arrow. There we go. Stick it in here, close it, and you're ready to go. See, look, backing paper is right there. And then you go shoot it. Put it on the back, and yep. So this is Thanksgiving right now, and so I'll see you in like a few months, because that's how long it's gonna take me to shoot this. Woohoo! Bye. What did I tell you? I said it was gonna take like 6 months to get this done, and I thought I was kind of joking like I could get it done, but it didn't. So here we are. This is the roll that I ended up with. I ended up with 24 pictures on this roll, which is the most out of any roll I've shot, and I guess I've only really shot 3 or 4 of these doing this, but if you could tell, the frame spacing in the beginning is pretty tight. I used 9 clicks throughout, and then as I went on, it got larger and larger, as it does, and so I think now on, every 6 shots, I'll reduce the number of clicks, I guess, by 1, but either way, these are the images. This is what all this led up to. So that's how this ended up. This is pretty much done now. If you want to do it, do it. If you don't want to do it, don't. Have fun. Ask me questions if you want to, whether it's the comments or one of, I don't know, Instagram or whatever it is you do. People have actually asked me questions on Instagram before, and so that's cool. But yeah. And if you ask me why I don't just crop, then please don't do that. Like this guy. Cool. That's the last of the panoramic videos ever. For this, at least. I don't know. If I figure out a different way to do them somehow, I'll do it. Whatever. So this isn't scripted, as you can tell. Bye. It's those planes I took pictures of. That's crazy. What's real?